Call Halayim Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Ba'ashim Rakakadash. Uh, give double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS and the apostles and elders of Israel out here. The Akim out here preaching this truth and sincerity and truth. We just keep pushing this word because we're starting to see the prophecies manifest. There's a lot of things going on. One of the brothers of the GMS Dallas in class 3 camp was coming over with one of those algorithm breakdown. He did it on a subject that I like. Shalom Ba. I've been trading stocks for about 9 years, and more currency. I was a currency trader when I first came in, and learned how to do these things. And I've been noticing, since I've been trading, the last probably like 3 or 4 years, that these currency are super slow. That means there's no stability within these countries. I look at them, I trade them. It's a daily trade. That you do when you first came in here, but there's a couple things that I looked at. As far as what he's saying in World War III, in the algorithm of what he's talking about in the currency. But greed seeks in, and I can say that because I am living proof. When I first came in to want to trade stocks, it was all about trying to make the most money, to live the extravagant life. But that ain't what the Most High want us to do. And I saw some scriptures. I'm gonna bring out a couple of them. Just what I saw on just some scriptures based on money. I'm gonna come back to this brother's video, so he can break down one of the scriptures that he did a great job of explaining. But I'm gonna go to a couple of scriptures and just read them off to you. Let me see. If you just look at this, a couple of these scriptures, like wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gather by labor shall increase. Labor not to be rich, cease from thy own wisdom. So that's how I was doing. I was trying to be rich. I was trying to have the lifestyle of the rich and famous. And Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua had other plans for me. I still dibble and dab in it and still read about it, But, as my Ak will say, to just stay focused in this truth, and I'm trying to get better and better with that. Everybody has something that they lack. And it's not the riches that I want. It's just it's the game. The game can get addictive because of what you want. It's kind of just basically like a video game, man, So, and I'll show you why it's like a video game. So here's one chart that I was doing earlier, and making the trade, and you see it. You see these trends, and you can see that this right here, I believe it's New Zealand versus the U.S. dollar. These currencies are low. 89 cents, 66 cents, 72. The euro's trying to come back off the dollar. That's because of what's going on in this war. So Um, you could just pull up any of them. Like I said, it's just like video game. Here's a euro, and it's showing you on these charts on what it's doing. It's a lot of volatility now because of those trade talks. But I don't really want to talk too much about just the trade. It's just the point, like I was saying about, playing in the game. I want to go back to the scriptures because the scriptures is the most important. You know, to say, like I said, labor not to be rich, seize from thy own wisdom. So seize from that was Proverbs 23:4. Just like you. Labor not to be rich, seize from their own wisdom. So the wisdom that you get from learning these scriptures is the real riches, is the real wisdom. This will take you far. You can get money and vanity, but what do you get from that? Nothing. Here's one, 1 Timothy 6 verses 9. But they that will be rich fall into temptation. Yes, we see all the rich people, they fall into temptation. Every person I done seen who became rich all had a temptation because you had more money and you forget about Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. We all do that from time to time. But the rich they all do just because they have so much money and they don't need to lean towards no one but themselves. So it says, but they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare and into many foolish and hurtful lusts. Yeah, you can, you see celebrities, they're out here and they buy all these things that has no value. It has carnal value, but it doesn't have spiritual value. And then we look at them, we want the same things, but these people, we willing to do whatever it takes to get those things. And Yahweh Shai, state that you should, build your treasures in the heavens. Withdraw men into destruction and perdition, I like this right here. He that loves silver shall not be satisfied with silver. So just because you got silver, you love it, you won't be satisfied. Nor he that love abundance with increase. This is also vanity. It don't matter how much you get. If it's not in the spirit, then that ain't what, that's you will never be satisfied. Even if you have the abundance. Because when you get in the stock market, the more you make, the more you will want to make. You make $1 million, you want 2 million. You make 2 million, you want 4 million. And this is a beautiful, look at this. Anytime you go to Proverbs, you're going to get that wisdom. So Proverbs 15 verses 16, better is little with fear of the Lord Yahweh than great treasures and trouble therein. See, because once you hit that bottom, once you hit the bottom of losing things, man, you hit hard. Because you go from millions to, nothing. That's a hurtful. You can go for a couple 100,000 and lose, and you still be different. But when you had something like millionaire, like an athlete, like an entertainer, and you begin to be beside someone who, just had a regular 9 to 5, that's a big fall, and they just go into temptation. They're just going, and from there they just go down. You see it every day with entertainers. Here it is right here. The Yahweh Shai said, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. That's why we have to be careful with our thoughts. Matthew 6:21, that's what it says. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. I'm just looking through here. Here's another one, Proverbs 6. I always like Proverbs 16:16. How much better is it to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding rather to be chosen than silver? So I want to read that again. How much better is it to get wisdom? This wisdom is deep. You know, the more I get this wisdom, the more I read, the more it's shapah, which means beautiful in Hebrew. When you just learn just the littlest things, learn how to speak in Hebrew, learn the alphabet in Hebrew, or just learn anything, learn these scriptures. It's better than gold. And to get understanding, rather to choose the silver. So once you get wisdom and understanding, the gold is worth more. I mean, because you can read something. Sometimes I go to my aunt, man, and I'll be like, I don't understand. And so they give me the wisdom to get the understanding. I don't want no gold or silver. I want to understand. So once I understand and get the knowledge, then I get the wisdom. And I be the water to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua first and foremost, to give me the brothers, to give me that breakdown. The other day I was doing it on, I think I'm going to do a video on it, but Isaiah 14, the stranger. I went to brothers to get the understanding. So that understanding is worth more than silver. And the wisdom that I get from those brothers is better than gold. So I want to read Proverbs 16:16 again. How much better is it to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding rather to be chosen than silver? So that those are scriptures, and you always can get that understand how important it is, to not enjoy the riches of the world. And everybody goes through it. I go through it. You see these things, you think that's what you need, but it's vanity. Here's another one. Proverbs 30:8. Remove far from me vanities and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me. Remove that vanities and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. So you just want your daily bread. And that's what I always tell my brothers when I'm out there doing my job. I just want the daily bread. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit this brother's video, and then I'll go ahead and close this out. But this brother has a great video: World War III, algorithms, algo, update, currency war, and escalate.
10 verse 8, it says, because of unrighteous dealings. Let me start up. Verse 5, in the hand of the Most High is the prosperity of man, and upon the person of the scribe shall he lay his honor. Bear not hatred to thy neighbor for every wrong, and do nothing at all by injurious practices. Pride is hateful before the Most High and man, and by both do one commit iniquity. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches gotten by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. All right, and that's what we're seeing. The Most High is preparing this place to be translated into the hands of the Israelites, man. All these nations that have been merchants with each other and practicing all these things together, they're going to fall together. They're going to come to naught together. Ecclesiastes 12:4 says, and the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. And this is what's set to happen basically as these economies begin to gear down and ramp down.
Like that brother just said, that once the economy goes bad and goes out, there ain't gonna be no grinding in the cities. There ain't no be grinding in the countries. And you start to see it. People posting videos all the time about, these small companies, these small retail stores going out one by one. 7,000 plus stores this year and 2019 is going out. So you're looking at about 5 to 15 people without a job per 7,000 stores.
Down and basically decouple and come apart, man. All right, you gonna see.
I mean, the market went down 763 points. That's not a big scare after being at 27,000. But with the trade deficits and trade agreements and tariffs, things of that nature are being in effect, that number can easily be cut in half. That'd be crazy, but that might be too extreme. But you never know what can happen with trades. Once you start pulling the currencies, pulling, start pulling your money from the dollar, like China, like Russia. They don't use your dollar no more, like Iran. When they start pulling their dollar, how strong is the dollar? The dollar is built on GDP, which means gross domestic products. So, if you brothers want to kind of go listen to this brother's video, it's very informative. I just wanted to catch a couple of his scriptures that he had and kind of tell you a little bit about what he was talking about and some of the stuff that I experienced, with learning how to trade or learning about the market and how that, it has no meaningful to the soul, So with that being said, call Halayim Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Give the strength to all the Akim, man, and keep pushing, keep enduring to the end. Like I said again, call Halayim Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Rakakadash, Rakakadash. Hopefully dwell in all of us. Shalom.